Thanks to those who are following along with the video series about the capstone project at the University of Dayton MBA Online. In this one, we're going to talk about the difference between the 798 course and the 799 course. So the 798 course is preliminary. It's a prereq to the 799. It's called Leadership Strategy and Stakeholder Management. And in it, you learn the strategic tools and industry analysis tools, internal analysis tools that you're going to need to use in the first half of your project for 799. In it, the main focus is the Campbell Soup project. So in the first few weeks, you learn about the tools, for example, PEST-DG analysis, Herfindahl index, compound annual growth rate, how to calculate that. You learn about Porter's 5 forces model, some different strategic tools, some strategic findings, and you're going to do a lot of reading, a lot of articles, which are going to help in 799 in the first half. When I got to 799, I thought, okay, so the first half of this is going to be pretty much 798, but it's not, only because now you're working with a client, most likely a private, could even be a local company, smaller, and there's not as much research out there as there is for a behemoth like, say, Campbell Soup Company. So you really need to dive into 799. You need to dive into the client's goals, what they're looking to get out of it. You need to understand where the revenue is coming from, where the revenue is being generated, and the biggest money-making opportunities for them, where they want to be in the next 12, 24, 36 months, because that is going to help you frame your research and figure out which tools are going to be most important for this specific client. They're not all going to be the same. So among that, in 798, you learn corporate level strategy, organizational structures, how to value a firm, those kinds of things, game theory, some of the things that you've learned previously in the MBA program, but it kind of ties it all together and tells you how to flow it into a report. So flow it into the first half of what you're going to do in 799. The first half of 799, you're going to want to get through that research phase quickly because the meat of the project is the recommendations, and that's what the client's looking for. That's what they're going to drive the most value from. They want actionable insights on how to move forward, how to either improve their current situation or get out of maybe a undesirable situation. So that's what they're looking for you to help them do. 798 talks about management styles, some different theories on that, strategic coherence, so aligning, making sure and telling you how to make sure that your client in 799 strategy aligns with what they're doing. So this is going to tie into the next segment, which is going to be the dynamic between the client and the team. So when you first meet with the client, I'm going to cover some really important questions to ask, some things to drill down on, some things to understand quickly. For example, what industry they're in. Sometimes that could be hard to determine because unlike Campbell Soup, which is pretty clear what industries they're in, they could define themselves differently, and it kind of depends on their mission, their vision, their values, where they see themselves going, where they've been in the past. But there's more that you need to get out of a short meeting with the client. It's going to be really critical moving forward in your project. So next week we're going to cover some of that, and I hope this was valuable. I hope it's helping anybody following along. And again, please like, comment. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thanks. So for this topic, I also wanted to show you what the reports for 798, which is here on the left, and 799 might look like. So you might see some of the differences. So just looking at the table of contents here, you can see a lot of similar things. Executive summary, it's an important way to start it. Kind of a 1 to 2 page synopsis of the entire report. Here for 799, you're going to have the introduction of team members, but then you kind of jump right into the same first half of 798. So history, overview, scope, methodology. Then you jump to external analysis on both So again, 798, the strategy course on the left here, and 799, the capstone on the right. Internal analysis, a lot of the same things. So here we're looking at a big company, and this is more of your local company that we're doing the consulting for here in 799. So not everything is going to be the same, but very similar, still using a lot of the same tools. The difference here is just kind of how it pertains to your client in particular. But you do see that a lot of these same tools are used to draw conclusions from. And then you go to business strategy. Here you do more market analysis, and then strategic alliance and M&A, merger and acquisition strategy. That may pertain to your client, it may not. It did not for ours. And then bibliography, and you can see here we ended about 37 pages, whereas in our project we move on after summary of key findings to recommendations, and that was only after 22 pages. And so here are some of the recommendations that we made, and that ended up counting for a big portion of the project. So I hope it was helpful to just kind of see how these reports are organized, what's similar, what's different about the two.